The lights drop suddenly, and the massive theater goes quiet as a single spotlight snaps on. A slim Filipino man stands at center stage, his black jacket catching just enough light to shimmer. The audience doesn't cheer yet. They watch, they wait. Some smile politely, others fold their arms. Elvis impersonators have walked onto this stage before, and most of them leave the same way, forgotten. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, lips pressed together, already guessing how this will end. "So," Simon says, breaking the silence, "why Elvis?" The man swallows, gripping the microphone with both hands. "Where I'm from in the Philippines," he says softly, "we didn't have much, but when my father played Elvis songs on an old radio, everything felt okay. Even hunger felt quiet for a moment." A few murmurs ripple through the crowd, but doubt still hangs heavy in the air. This is America's Got Talent. Stories are everywhere. Voices are what matter. "And what will you sing today?" Simon asks, one eyebrow raised. "Can't help falling in love," the singer replies. The reaction is instant. Gentle laughter, exchanged glances, a few heads shaking. It's a beautiful song, yes, but one of the most overused songs in audition history. Risky, almost reckless. The pianist begins, slow and delicate. The singer closes his eyes. Then the first note leaves his mouth, and the room changes. It's not loud. It doesn't reach for attention. Instead, it pulls the audience in. His voice is smooth, steady, and heartbreakingly sincere, as if he's singing a memory instead of a melody. Conversations stop. The air feels heavier. Phones pause mid-record. Simon's posture shifts. He leans forward slightly, eyes locked on the stage. The second line lands even deeper. There's no strain, no imitation, no exaggerated Elvis moves, just control, warmth, and quiet confidence. The kind that can't be taught. A woman in the audience presses her hand to her chest. Someone whispers, "Oh my God." By the time he reaches the end of the first verse, the laughter is gone. The doubt is gone. What remains is something rare, complete attention. No one blinks, no one breathes too loudly. In less than 10 seconds, the question is no longer, is this another Elvis? It's, how is this real? As the melody continues, the singer opens his eyes and something shifts, not just in him, but in the entire theater. He takes a small step forward, no choreography, no theatrics, yet the movement feels powerful. His voice begins to rise, not in volume, but in emotion, wrapping itself around every word like it truly matters. This is no longer an audition. It feels like a confession. The audience leans in without realizing it. A man in the back row lowers his phone, forgetting to record. A couple in the front holds hands. The song unfolds gently, but each note lands with precision, as if placed exactly where the heart is most vulnerable. When he reaches the chorus, the magic becomes undeniable. His voice opens up, richer now, fuller, yet still controlled. There's a softness in his tone that feels personal, almost sacred. He doesn't chase the high notes, he lets them come to him. The words "take my hand" don't sound like lyrics anymore. They sound like a promise. Heidi Klum's eyes widen. She turns slightly toward Sophia, silently mouthing, "Wow." Sophia smiles, shaking her head in disbelief. Simon, usually stone-faced, nods once, slowly, like someone realizing they were wrong. The audience begins to react physically. A woman wipes away tears. Someone near the aisle whispers, "This is beautiful." The energy in the room builds, not through noise, but through stillness. Every second feels stretched, fragile, as if clapping too early might break the spell. As the song approaches its final lines, the singer softens again, pulling the volume back down. It's a bold choice, risky, but it works. The last note floats into the air, trembling slightly, then settles. The music stops. For a heartbeat, no one moves. Then a single clap cuts through the silence. Another follows, and suddenly the theater explodes. People leap to their feet as if pulled by the same invisible string. Applause crashes from every direction, louder than the music ever was. Cheers echo off the walls. Simon stands. Heidi stands. Sophia stands. The singer freezes, eyes wide, overwhelmed. His hand flies to his mouth. He bows instinctively again and again, trying to understand what just happened. In under a minute, A quiet Filipino man turned doubt into devotion and earned a standing ovation that felt inevitable the moment his voice was heard. The applause refuses to fade. It rolls through the theater in waves, louder each second, as if the audience is afraid that sitting down might erase what they just witnessed. The Filipino singer stands motionless at center stage, chest rising fast, eyes shining under the lights. He keeps bowing, almost apologetically, overwhelmed by the noise meant for him. Simon raises his hand, trying to speak, but the crowd only cheers harder. Finally, the applause softens. Enough for his voice to cut through. Okay, Simon says, shaking his head with a small smile. I have to admit something. The audience quiets instantly. When you walked out and said Elvis, Simon continues, I thought this would be another tribute act. Safe, predictable. But within seconds, you proved me completely wrong. The crowd erupts again. Simon leans forward now, serious. That was not an imitation. That was emotion. You took a song everyone knows and made it feel like we were hearing it for the first time. Heidi presses her hand to her heart. You were so gentle, she says. So respectful. I forgot where I was. I forgot this was a competition. Sophia smiles warmly at the singer. You didn't try to impress us, she adds. You just told the truth with your voice, and that's why it worked. The singer wipes his eyes, nodding. Thank you, he manages to say. I sang that song for my family back home. I never thought it would bring me here. The audience responds, with another surge of applause, mixed with cheers and shouts of his name. Simon looks straight at him. This, he says firmly, is why this show exists. The result feels obvious before it's even spoken. 3 yeses come without hesitation, the judges smiling, the crowd roaring approval. As the singer walks off stage, he pauses at the curtain, turning back for one last look at the glowing audience still on their feet. He presses a hand to his chest, taking it all in. Backstage, the cheers can still be heard, echoing like thunder. A caption fades across the screen, standing ovation in seconds, not because of hype, not because of tricks, but because a voice from the Philippines sang, with honesty, and America listened.